Hi, my name is Theresa White. I'm the owner of Glossed Glam Factory. We're a full-service nail and beauty bar. We have services in nails, makeup, lashes, brows, and facials. We're located at 1701 Webster Street, Houston, Texas 77003 in Suite A. Basically Midtown area off of Webster, right next to downtown. You're able to find us on social media. Right now we have a Facebook and Instagram. They're both under Glossed Glam Factory, and that's Glossed Glam Factory. So come get glossed up. So people have been asking me, why have I chosen a nail salon? Why open a nail salon? And I think it's because I'm crazy at this point. We've been open for a little under 2 months, and it's been a whirlwind of an experience. It's always been a vision of mine to open something in the beauty industry, whether it been, a makeup bar, a lash bar, or just something that is to pamper and uplift every woman. What I found when I first moved to Houston, because I'm originally from California, I've been living here for almost 5 years, is that I had to drive so many different places to get anything done. So I would get my nails done in one spot, drive across town to get my lashes done, drive somewhere else to get my eyebrows done, things like that. And I just realized that there was nothing upscale in Houston that I personally felt like when I go there, it's the showstopper. So I said, you know what? I've been wanting to open something for forever and a day, so why not do it in Houston? I don't have any plans of moving back home anytime soon, so let's open a one-stop shop where women in Houston can come and get their nails done, their lashes done, their brows done, get a facial, maybe a full face of makeup, to the point where you don't have to drive all around and you get that quality service that you're looking for. So the reason why I opened my salon is really to be a service to the community and to women, but also just to make sure that your dollar is being spent in a place where you feel it's valued. So no, I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. People ask me that all the time. I actually have 2 degrees in communications, one in mass communication and the other in public relations. I wanted to go into crisis communication. So when you see like big oil spills or crazy crisis and things like that, where you have press releases and, conferences and things like that, I would be the person behind all of that. That's what I originally wanted to do fresh out of school. But like I said, just something about the beauty industry has always captured me. So I decided to open this place up not really knowing what I was doing. So I didn't have the training in business and things like that. So I'm self-taught with everything, down from the business aspect to the cosmetology aspect, all the way down to just the customer service in general, because it's one thing to be a service provider and another to own a business that's customer service oriented. So if there was one thing that I could say that I wish people gave me more advice on, I would actually have to say that there's 2 things that I wish that I knew a little bit more about before opening a business. The first thing is construction. There are so many different types of contractors you can come across in this industry when it comes to having your place built out, remodeled, whether it's from the ground up or, you're just changing a couple things in a place that you're taking over. You really have to make yourself savvy when it comes to construction. And when I say savvy, I don't mean learning how to do anything. I more so mean the ins and outs of legal, the legal things when it comes to trying to do construction and how to properly be permitted with the city, and doing your research on the background of, trying to open the type of business, because you can have a business plan and you can have all these great ideas for designs and things like that. But if you don't have the tools that you need when entering into the city to get your permits, and this is with any city, but if I'm speaking specifically about the city of Houston, trying to get a building permit so that you're up to code with everything, you got to make yourself aware and familiarize yourself with certain things that you would need. So for restaurants, some people may not know you need a grease trap, or for hair salons, there's a certain type of water pressure and things like that that you should have. Specifically for a nail salon, plumbing is a big thing. It's a huge thing. I had a great contractor that did my plumbing. It's a huge thing because if you're going to have more than 4 pedicure stations and things like that, you need to make sure the water pressure is correct, and just a lot of little stuff. I actually, just a little bit of my testimony, I ran into a bad contractor the first time around with building my space out. Originally, something like my remodel should have taken no more than 10 weeks. It took me a year to get my business open. Part of the reason for that was because, you know, I went through a ton of contractors. I vetted them and things like that, and I had a certain budget I was working with. And I came across a contractor that seemed like everything was great and that he knew how to do what he needed to do to get the job done within my budget. So of course it all sounds good, but when it came down to the permitting process and things like that, he had no idea how to even really pull permits from the city of Houston himself. I would have never known that had I not educated myself by going to the city, figuring out that I don't actually have a permit after starting construction. You know, the fact that you need plans drawn up by an architect and an engineer, just to make sure that when you submit to the city of Houston, you have a full set of blueprints that they're able to review and understand what you have going on, so you're not getting red flags left and right, and then actually being approved, you know, to have whatever type of business it is. And specifically for a nail salon, you know, there's ventilation requirements for the fumes and things like that. There's requirements for the plumbing, like I said, you know, ACs, all of that type of stuff. So it's very good to have an idea of your requirements before you start construction. The second thing I would say is it's one thing to go from working a job and working for someone else, so being an employee, and there's nothing wrong with that, but to being an owner of a business. So you have to really take yourself out of what would be you working for someone else. Obviously you're working for yourself, and put yourself in the position of a manager or an owner, because it can be very hard to manage different schedules and personalities and just, you know, people coming from different backgrounds. That's the norm, you know. So you gain a newfound respect for your old managers when you would give them, you know, a hard time or not show up to work or show up late and things like that. You have a different sort of respect for them because when you open your own business, now you're the end all be all. So you may start cleaning up every morning, to closing the drawers, being the cashier, being the receptionist, to problem solving, being the manager and things like that. And like I said, when you have employees, you have to make sure that the internal customer service is great as well as the external customer service. So those would be my two takeaways and two giveaways to anybody that's trying to open a business. Just try to make sure that you know what you're going into, you're able to get your space, whatever your space may be, properly built out, and you're preparing yourself to literally manage people. So what inspired my decor was I just wanted something super posh and clean and chic. I'm actually a gold girl. I'm not really a silver girl, but I just wanted something that would go well together. I like to call myself an interior decorator in my past life because I do it for myself and all my friends and everything. So of course I have like a super creative and decorative type of gene just flowing through my body, but I really wanted something that looked super clean and elegant. And so everyone always talks about the fact that everything is so white in here and so bright. And they always ask me, well, how do you keep it clean? And you know, I have to do a lot of cleaning, but it's just something that's very like bright and clean. You know, if I'm thinking about functionality, darker colors would have obviously been better, but that's just kind of gloomy. It's not as fun. It doesn't look as upscale. So for me, it was just, I just wanted to have something that when you walk in the door, it looks fresh. So that's where my inspiration came from, just kind of all over the place, but really what is the overall aesthetic I want people to get when they walk through the door. And we have our accents of pink and things like that to, of course, you know, bring out a little flair, but you're gonna see a lot of grays, whites, silvers, things like that. My advice to aspiring entrepreneurs is you're not crazy. Whatever, I know I may call myself crazy for wanting to open a nail salon, and that's because I've opened a nail salon I've opened a business in an industry that's dominated by, you know, other races. So for me, that's why I call myself crazy, but you're not crazy. When you think big, think bigger on a bigger scale, because at the end of the day, no one can put your vision together and execute your vision but you. And also what you'll learn is everybody knows how to run your business better than you. You're gonna get so much unsolicited advice that you never asked for. People are gonna look at you crazy, talk to you crazy, borderline to the point where you wanna fight them because they just don't understand where you're coming from. But you have to let that go through one ear and out the other, because throughout this process for me, like I said, I have never met so many people in my life that were nail techs and business owners and salon owners in their past lives. I've never known this about people. Like I said, that unsolicited advice, it comes in me every day. You should do this. Well, how about this? And what about that? And you know, if I were you, I would be doing it this way. The point I'm trying to make is they're not you. Do it your way. Always do it your way. Continue to do it your way because no one else is going to be able to do it like you. And furthermore, when I say you're not crazy, you may not have a certain amount of investors. You may not have a certain amount of money. You may not have, you know, just anything that you may think that it takes to start a business. You know, you're going to be afraid anytime you're taking on something new, you're responsible for it. So walking by blind faith is how I've gotten here. So trust your judgment. Trust everything about you that you know can work because it's going to work for you. When it comes to any type of industry that you're trying to break into, people are not always going to be friendly. People are not always going to give you the advice that you need to hear. They'll tell you what they want you to know, but they will rarely tell you what you need to hear. And so during this interview, I just want to take the time out to thank the folks at Lack Nail Bar because they're located in Hollywood, in California, originally where I'm from. I moved before I actually got a chance to go visit their nail bar. They offer a course on how to open a successful nail salon. And so I was like, you know, 1 year for my birthday, actually it was in 2017. For my birthday, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a course, you know, on how to get this done because I don't know where to start. So I said, I'm gonna get that for myself for my birthday. And literally from the moment we started the course till the end, they told us what we needed to know from A to Z. And I'm sure the course has even improved since then because I took it right when they were first rolling the course out. So, but they were just really genuine about how they presented the information, and still to this day, I can call them, Robert and Marina over at Lack Nail Bar, love you guys. I can call or text them and ask them any questions and things like that, and they're going to tell me the truth. So when it comes to getting started in an industry, find a mentor. It's not always going to be easy to find a mentor because, like I said, people will try to tell you what they think you should know versus what you really should know. But once you find that good mentor, please cherish them and thank them and let them know that you appreciate them because they're basically giving you everything that they've learned and went through and all their trials and tribulations, but helping you steer clear of those things and doing it for free. So that's kind of how I got my little push to go ahead and get started.
Come along with us as we meet and greet many Black entrepreneurs across the United States. Against all odds, we're getting their take on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. These are their stories, and this is Greenwood Ave.